We hate to break it to you, but the only way to get rich without working is by working so hard you get to a point where you have other people work hard on your behalf. You cannot escape the hard work, but you can be smart about it. The smarter you are, the faster you get there. So here are 10 ways to put wealth creation on autopilot. Welcome to Alux. First up, you gotta set your default mode to hard work, no days off until you can afford to. The biggest difference between those who make it and those who don't lies in their default settings. Some people think that 40 hours of work per week is enough to get them the lifestyle they want. They're almost always wrong. The thing is, it seems like a lot of work until you make it your norm, your default. Then it's just another 12-hour day. Autopilot doesn't mean you don't do any work at all. It means the path that you're on is predetermined and you won't stop until you hit your destination. Automate investment out of earnings. Here's how to think about it. Your future gets paid first. This means every time you get a paycheck, 30% of it goes automatically toward investments. This can be arranged with your bank. Trust us, and some of you guys can confirm, somehow the brain works in mysterious ways. If you've got $1,000 to get you to the end of the month, then that's enough. If you only have $500, that's enough as well. You'll figure it out no matter what. If you're lower or middle class in the US, your 401 or your Roth IRA are probably your best bets. Outside of that, it's probably stocks. And speaking of stock investment, self-compounding S&P 500. Now personally, we own the Vanguard S&P 500 Index, VOO. We no longer pick stocks manually unless we want to have some fun. The bulk of our automated investments is in the S&P 500. We don't touch it, it self-compounds. Compound interest is still the most underrated way of getting rich. This is how you end generational poverty with only $10,000. If the day your child is born, you buy $10,000 worth of S&P 500 and just leave it there to self-compound, by the time your children are of retirement age, that fund will have grown to over $1 million. Do that for all of your children and grandchildren. No matter how much you're struggling, if you work hard, you'll get to 10K. Put it in the markets and just simply forget you ever had it. 65 years later, they're taken care of. Continue creating forever green IP. Another smart way of growing your wealth on autopilot is by stacking licenses, trademarks, patents, or royalties. Start protecting some intellectual property and then license it out. Every time someone else uses your brainchild, you'll get some money in your account. The beauty about this is that almost no ideas are too ridiculous to factor in. In 1997, someone dreamt of the idea of a pirate made out of rubber and made a comic book out of it. 2 years later, it became a cartoon. 25 years later, it's become a real-life TV show on Netflix. At every stage of the way, the creator is getting perpetually paid. By the way, One Piece has 1,075 episodes out so far, and they're not stopping. Reinvesting profits. Be it a business or investing in art, the name of the game is how big can the value of your portfolio get until it's time to liquidate it. Y'all know rich people love art, right? And it's not because they get it, but because it makes them even richer. Billionaires aren't rushing to sell their Picassos. They've gained value every year when traditional investments struggle to weather the storm year to year, which is why 95% of billionaires allocate at least 5% of their portfolios to fine art, and why so many Alux subscribers are joining our sponsors at Masterworks. Masterworks is giving you the chance to add a potentially risk-reducing element to your portfolio while maximizing growth potential. Their team has used decades worth of data and experience to do the dirty work for you and delivered positive returns on 16 straight exits. They've paid out over $45 million in returns to investors who didn't need art experience or world contacts. Over 800,000 people have joined so far, and offerings have sold out within hours. But since so many Alux subscribers are on board, you can still skip the line and get started today by going to masterworks.art/Alux or by clicking the link in the description. Hiring a CEO. You built a company doesn't necessarily mean that you should run it. There's actually a better position to set for yourself called a chairman or being on the board. This allows you to hire and fire the CEO of your own company. Now, the truth is, some of you are great at starting companies but lack the necessary skill set to build an HR department, scale to multiple locations, and get stuck in meeting after meeting. That's when you either sell the company at the level it's at, or you bring in a CEO. Having a CEO report to you still keeps you engaged with the business, but takes all the stress away. And that's if you're doing a decent enough job. Just get your dividends and you live your life. Even better, use those dividends to secure the future even more by every year acquiring a cash-flowing property. Here's the only secret to wealth there is. You don't get to spend the money you earn. You use it to buy things that make you more money, and then you spend that money. If you have a business that's making you bank, use that money to buy yourself some rental properties. Buy them cash, no debt. Really? That way, the money you earned is secured, and every month that property will pay you a little bit of money that pays for groceries and utilities. Try to buy at least one property every year. Pretty soon you'll have 3, 4, or 5 of them, and all of a sudden they start paying for your holidays, for your children's education. You keep at it for a minimum period of time, and then you'll hit a crucial amount, where every year your rental properties pay for another property. This usually happens around 10 to 12. The rental income is high enough for you to buy even more rental properties. This is a spin wheel of wealth where at any point you can retire and live off of them. Getting to 10 properties means your wealth goes up every year on autopilot. Invest in a REIT. If you think buying properties yourself is demanding, although we do recommend a property manager to deal with most of those headaches, there is an option of investing in a real estate investment trust. Investors bundle money together, the fund buys buildings, and the rental income from the entire thing gets distributed to investors. This way, you don't have to worry about dealing with the tenants or collecting rent yourself. REITs are a viable alternative with similar earnings as the stock market, making them one of the safest autopilot investments. Hire a wealth manager. A wealth manager is someone who grows the money on your behalf. $250,000 seems to be the minimum where wealth managers would accept you as a client. The average person waits until they have $2 to $5 million in investable earnings before they approach a wealth manager. These are funds, institutions, or in some cases, small family offices that charge around a 1% fee for managing your funds on your behalf. So all you have to do is get to $5 million and then trust them enough to take care of your future on your behalf. And finally, automate your learning. You will be just as rich as your mind is, so you've got to keep yourself sharp. You cannot stop learning. You have to make an automatic habit out of learning. You wake up, you make your coffee, and while you drink it, you get smarter. Listening to an audiobook, listening to a podcast, reading a couple of pages, or using a special tool specifically designed to increase your focus and expand your mind. It's like taking yourself to wealth therapy. The only tool specifically designed to do this is, shameless plug here, the Alux app. We pay high-end executive coaches on your behalf and have them teach you the same actionable lessons their $1 million plus per year clients get for a fraction of the cost. The app is available at Alux.com/app, and we're on a mission to make 1,000 millionaires. The most recent man to join this list is Paul Nelson, a 47-year-old mechanical engineer from Green Bay, Wisconsin in the US, who just made his first million. Every time one of our users crosses that $1 million line, they send us an email and we add their name to a list. This app works, okay? Other people are making progress while you're on the sidelines debating it. Alux.com/app, so stop missing out. 1 year of using the app daily and your life will look radically better. All right, so normally we do a list of 15 things, right? And we tried doing that here, but it didn't feel right. Anyone who sells you wealth independent of work is hustling you, okay? They're getting rich off of your hard-earned money, so there's no such thing as made-for-you systems that will get you rich. If you had a way to turn $1 into $2, you'd run the machine over and over again until it no longer spewed out new dollars. Remember, people will always try to sell you the dream. Amazon FBAs, private investing group memberships, now they're selling YouTube channels, okay? It's all bullshit. The only thing of true value is deep education that allows you to make progress yourself. Everything we mentioned on this list requires you to become someone who's truly worthy of wealth and can at any point monetize their own skills. Wealth on autopilot implies that you have acquired so much wealth already that the residuals, the interest on your wealth, is more than what you could spend. You get rich by taking a lot of risk with a little bit of money. You stay rich by taking very little risk with a lot of money. The goal is to get to the stay rich part. And since you're still watching this Sunday motivational video, we saved you a bonus, of course. There is no magic end or magic formula. No. The phone isn't going to ring one day and someone's going to tell you that you've made it. There's no end in sight because nobody else is keeping track of your race. It will never be automatic. It will never be easy. Nothing of value is easy or comes easily. You're in this race for real, and the only way to escape it is to stop running. You'll never have enough, but if you keep running, you'll have more than you currently do. You will be able to help more people, and you'll find purpose in your work. Once you accept that hard work is inevitable, at least then you can refocus your efforts to make the most out of the experience. We hope you'll be wise enough one day to realize this, Aluxer, and if you're already there, please write the word WISE in the comments. Let's see how many of you have already figured it out.